DZA, thank you so much for pulling up to the crib.
You already know. Put my
Appreciate you.
phone down. I'm good and high in my zone.
I already know the vibes. From day one, when I first met you, you were smoking outside the Genius offices, and we were looking over like Brooklyn.
That was
That was
like
n-
that
that was
was
the first day we
that
ever had
was
a work
actually
day.
before Rap Genius was Rap Genius. Like I was like the first artist to like go over there to the offices. So that's cool. Telling the story now. That was like 2013, 14.
Yeah,
It's a minute ago.
yeah. We go back. You're literally the first rapper that I ever got to do PR for.
That's why, when you said you was doing a pod, I was like, usually be curving everybody. Fuck it, it's savvy. Let me just go. So, of course, I had to pull up for you.
Thank you so much. I
You know that.
appreciate it. You've always been a real one, always been supportive. To be able to grow with you through your career and, meeting you through Saint and Stevo.
Shout out to my brothers. Spoke to Steve earlier.
Yeah, they were the ones that gave me a shot. I'll never forget. I went to the offices to go get interviewed by Tennille.
Oh wow. Shout out to Tanel wherever she's at.
Yeah, and
It's
they
a good
gave me a
girl.
shot. And I was just in college at the time. I
Mm.
just was just trying stuff. I was like, let me just work with an artist. And then I was familiar with your music,
Mm-hmm.
especially where I went to college, Rutgers, like the frat
Shout
rap
out to
scene. Like,
Ruckus.
yeah, they love Smoke DZA. Shout out to Rutgers.
I spent a lot of time in Rutgers, like going to Goodfella Radio in Rutgers University. Actually, shout out to Justin, Justin D. Pause. It's a crazy name, but that's his name. Justin. But I remember he gave me his fucking Rutgers ID card so I could like go in and out. Just crazy. Just mad random shit now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Rutgers was good. It was good to me at that point in time in my career. It's fun times.
Yeah, you were popping, and I just was such a fan. And I remember there was just like a movement at that time in the entertainment industry. Dane was outside. He had like the Poppington Gallery
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
BK, and it
Mm-hmm.
was just like a whole artsy music scene in that era.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a time. I
Yeah,
remember
that
being in
was when Dame
college.
came back outside.
Yeah, he came back
Yeah.
outside during that
For
time.
like the third time. Like that was like his third life. It was like Rockefeller, then it was DD 172, and then he came back in the Poppington era. And BK, the artsy art gallery era, Dame's times. That was fun too.
It was,
That was
yeah.
fun.
So many memories and,
Mm-hmm.
being able to just, like I said, see the journey. That's why I wanted to have this podcast because I just want to like sit down with my friends, have conversations. I feel
As
like
you
the
should.
conversations I have with my friends are already dope. So I'm like, we have to bring it here and tell the stories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you were the first artist that I got to work with. And basically, Steve-O and Saint basically were just like, do what you want to do. And I kind of had a plan. So I was just like pitching you to outlets and just like making stuff happen and plugging. And it was just such a cool experience. I learned so much. Dizza, I still to this day, I think you're like the coolest person ever. Like, if it's not some drip, if it's not the lyrics, if it's not a business play, like you're just so cool. Like I just love what you do. I'm
I
a fan.
appreciate you for that. That's
So,
love. That's love.
you know,
Gotta stay. I'm glad just hearing those things. It warms my heart. It makes me wanna continue to be genuine because you can get lost in this shit. It's real easy to lose yourself in this shit. But hearing those beautiful things from you and a lot of my other friends keeps me grounded. Word.
that's what's up. That's what's up. So, talk about where you're at now. From that era, you've built so much stuff for yourself, like the Smokers Club. Like, how do you feel now? Like, there's more festivals out here, but you built that brand up organically before any of this.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it sucks to be first, or like sucks to be at the curve of things before things actually take its shape. But we had a journey, man. It was all grassrooted. It was all just us having an energy, bottling that energy up, and then learning how to manifest a festival out of that and monetize um, from being on the road. I mean, we started Smokers Club from me, Currency, and Big Crit touring off our mixtapes at the time, where they was really albums, but they was considered mixtapes because none of us had a deal. So that was they were street albums at the time, mixtapes, but they really were albums. We toured off George Cush the Button, Pilot Talk, and Crit was here. That was really the beginning of Smokers Club tours, and then throughout the years we kept doing it. By the grace of God, we got to expand, got to do 3 festivals, uh, for 60,000 people, um, and we still working, still cooking, still got more shit going. So yeah.
It's so epic. I feel like it's such an organic movement, and like it represents and encompasses so much about rap and weed culture at that epicenter. It's like the only one, and it's so cool, and the merch and stuff. So I've always admired that,
Mm-hmm.
and how you move as, just a business person. One thing I was talking to Mike about earlier, I was like, what would you call yourself now, like at this point? Because I think people try to like box us in,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that you have your hands in so many things creatively. So, what do you
What do
dub
I
it these
consider
days?
myself?
Yeah,
Just a creator.
right.
You know what I mean? I think I'm bigger than an artist. Even though I am an artist, that's just a part of my many layers to who I am. But overall, I'm just a creator. You know what I mean? Like you said, I'm in different pockets, on different spectrums of different things. Yeah, I'm just a creator, just a professional manifester.
I love that. I love that. A professional manifester.
Yeah. Yep.
I love that. I'm really big into manifesting, so I feel like I'm
I mean,
also the
that's
same. I can relate.
yeah. I mean, that's what us dreamers do. Manifest our dreams into a reality. So yeah.
For sure, for
Hmm.
sure. So, what have you been up to? Like, talk to me.
Um, shit, man. I've been just living, just life was lifing, and then after life stopped lifing, life really never stops lifing. I'm living, adjusting,
Mm-hmm.
um, creating,
Mm-hmm.
dadding,
Dadding.
companioning.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm doing a little bit of everything. But I got a new project coming out with Flying Lotus. I just started to like talk about it online and shit.
I've
Actually, a
seen that.
record. The first single comes out tomorrow. When this episode comes out, the first single will probably be out. Well, it will be out already. Clearly, it comes out midnight. Me and Black Thought, produced by Flying Lotus. The project is fully produced by Flying Lotus. The name of it is Flying Objects. Um, I'm very proud of it. I'm very going back from manifestation, speaking about that. I manifested having a project with Flying Lotus.
That is so like legendary.
Yeah, like that's not like some regular shit for me. But shout out to Steve, full circle moment. Steve is the one that put me on the Flying Lotus.
Okay, dope. Shout out
And
to Steve.
usually I have an addictive personality. So when I like something, I really get into it. It's like clothing. Like if I like a clothing brand, I'll buy the same sweatsuit in different colors because I like the clothing brand. And it's the same with music. When I like a producer and I like their work, then I'll fuck with all different sounds and vibes. And um, when we first, when I first rapped on a Flying Lotus beat, and I put it on Twitter, and he saw it and he responded to it, I was hyped. And then somewhere down the line, from just staying connected and continuing to just do that same thing, like listen to one of his projects or SoundCloud, whatever, and hear some shit that I like, I rap on it again. And somewhere down the line, he was just like, "Yeah, I fuck with you, man." And I reached out to him one day when I was in LA. We had a crib in LA, and I was like, "Yo, I'm in LA. I wanna let's work." He's like, "Yeah." He sent me the address. He was in the house next door.
Stop it.
Swear to God, the whole time.
What?
So it was just God.
Yeah, that's just divine.
It was just, he sent me the address and I put it in the maps and it was said 2 minutes. He was literally a walking distance in the house next door. So, that's a cool feat within itself. And, I got to sit with him and build with him and, chat and listen to vibes, do music. Can't wait to see him and hang out with him again. He's like a Yoda. Very interesting fucking dude. But yeah, Flying Objects coming out September 1st. First single comes out tonight, midnight. Me and Black Thought. And I got some other cool features on that project too. So hopefully, well, let's not speak pretentious and say hopefully. Let's just say I can't wait until you guys enjoy it and really get to take it in.
That is so epic.
Yeah.
Black Thought, like, I was just at Roots Picnic, over the summer. Roots performed. Black Thought, just,
Yeah, he's amazing.
epic.
Daughter's ill. He's ill.
They brought out Jasmine Sullivan and
The Roots always
Eve.
got a good show.
Yeah, they really do.
They always got a good show.
It's a nice festival to go to.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good vibe, and I love it. It's different. It's a very unique festival.
Mm-hmm.
So I always appreciate going to it
Mm-hmm.
every year, when I can. That was the first one I went to, like, post-COVID, I want to say. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I got that, and I haven't really been consistently doing my podcast as of late, but we actually launching a new episode on Monday. So I'm getting back into the swing of that, because like I said, life has an interesting ways of throwing its twists and curveballs, and sometimes, a lot of times, us as creators don't really get to take the time for ourselves until something bad happens.
Yeah.
Right, so you can't really stop life. Good happen, bad happen every day. But I had to take some time to really decompress and really take some time to myself and really like process what's going on. Because outside of COVID, I always say COVID was like the world ending.
Yes. The world as we knew it.
The world as we know it.
Yeah.
So that was like the judgment day that we all was. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a real judgment day like that we see in that we read about in the book someday. Hopefully we won't be here to see it. But theoretically speaking, I felt like that was the end of the world, the pandemic.
I agree.
Because it swept a lot of loved ones away too. So that was a thing. But outside of that, Personally, I've taken a lot of losses that I had to adjust and find myself back whole somehow, which is a struggle. A lot of therapy.
Therapy is so necessary.
Yeah. And shout out to my therapist. He pretty sure he's not too happy with me. I haven't seen him in a while. But the work doesn't stop, you know, doing a lot of praying and a lot of self-reflecting and trying to break old habits, and all that shit plays into your life, into your artistry, into everything. So, like I said, I was just decompressing, trying to make myself whole again. So, you caught that version of me right now. Now, I'm always smoking weed is just something I'm gonna do regardless. This is like I'm always gonna smoke weed. I'm always gonna wear nice clothes.
Yeah.
Just like regardless if the cameras is on and not, it's just something I'm gonna do. But shit changes, man. Shit changes, and you just gotta just embrace the changes.
Embrace the changes.
And that's just where I'm at. I mean, I'm just embracing the changes. That's what I've been doing.
What changes have you seen, like, from the time that, like, we first met to, you know, post COVID, like now? A lot has changed in our industry.
Yeah, a lot changed in the business. I mean, the business
Yeah.
changes every year, but
Yeah. I think COVID
after
affected it
COVID,
though.
it affected it a
Yeah.
lot. But by the grace of God, I must say, I made a lot of money during COVID from the music industry.
Mm.
So I didn't really I didn't really feel the hit, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Now when it comes to live shows and shit, I think even right now, I think we're all feeling the hit for that.
Live
Live
shows has
shows
changed.
is
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because not only because a lot of the music has no feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's legacy acts are always gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think those shows and tours always work because people want to see legacy shit, right? Like when I say legacy, I'm talking like um, I don't want to disrespect them and say retro or like the old heads, because I'm that to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and I don't want to hear I'm an old head because I'm not an old head, right? But it's all a mentality. So that's why I say legacy. I use those words, legacy, like legacy acts. I feel like those shows, festivals, that's a thing because me personally as a fan, I want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see my favorite artists that I grew up on all together in one spot. That's like, okay, it's a steal for me to see a show like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I feel like we have our niche crowd of artists that we can all bunch up and do those things together. Like I was just on the tour with it was me, Wiz, Joey Burner, Chevy Woods. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like people like to see all of us together
Mm-hmm.
because we all came up together, and that's like
There's a story
it's a
behind
story,
it.
it's a thing. But
Yeah.
when it's a lot of these just random shows, it's like I think the people are kind of restless.
Mm-hmm.
Shit got to change up. It gotta be something that sparks their interest, or some music that's moving the needle enough for people to want to come see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I respect a lot of my friends that go out with live bands because at least they bring in a different texture to showmanship.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like doing shows at the Blue Note. I know a Blue Note holds no more than fucking 100 people, but I'm okay with that
Mm-hmm.
because I know those 100 people are tuned into what I'm doing. They appreciate it, and it's a vibe. It's the legendary Blue Note
Right.
with a live band.
Right.
So it's just different. It's different shit going on. But with changes I seen, fuck. It's been thousands of them. I mean, I could speak about my personal changes. I could speak about fucking changes in the game. I mean, it's this shit changes every day. That's why
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta really adjust with the changes, cause
Yeah.
you'll really get swallowed up in this shit, man. Shit is it's not for the weak.
That's so real.
Yeah.
Things are ever evolving. Um, I think one change that really stands out to me is like when I was first working with you, I would always like pitch blogs, and like blogs were like so popping back then, and that was
Mhm.
like a major gain,
Mhm.
online digitally back then.
Facts.
But now in present day, blogs aren't what they used to be.
No.
A lot of these publications are closing and short staffed, and there's just so many other ways to reimagine your public persona. Like you can put it through so many mediums now, and I think that that's pretty interesting.
It's
Think,
very interesting.
yeah,
Blogs used to be like the A&Rs, the DJs,
yeah,
and now it's like everybody. Now instead of the blogs, people are more on social media. You know, they were still some like hot new hip hops and places that's reliable sources and shit. But it's like a TV channel, and you can just go tune into your favorite artist's personal channel, which is their Instagram page,
right,
and you can see all of what you want to see with that artist.
right,
So it's a different way to um to process music as well as playlists. Playlists are huge, but to get playlisting, you got to be in that system. Every artist isn't in the system to get playlisting or even understand how important that is.
mm-hmm.
Like I love. Let me not say love, because I don't love any of this shit. But I romanticize with social media at times, interactions, and we all used to romanticize with likes and followers and all of the superficial bullshit that doesn't matter, right? But the real numbers is streaming numbers. So that's what I'm really. You can't fake that.
Yeah, those are the real metrics.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm paying attention to, and it's like stock. It's
Yes.
like Bitcoin or
Yes.
Dogecoin or whatever crypto you into. It goes up and it goes down, and it's really on you to jerk the algorithms however you jerk and pause. And it's not even something that you can cheat. It's really, like an artist like me, my algorithm drops my algorithm works as much as I drop. So if I continue to entertain my base, I wake my listeners up. It's penny. I'm aware it's a lot of people that know who I am, but I'm also aware there's a lot of people that don't. And fans, followers, supporters are supporters. Supporters are my family. That's a part of that cult
Mm-hmm.
that people say when they say cult following.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your real supporters. They should just say your family supporters.
Yeah.
That's better than cult, right?
Yeah.
At least to me, that
Yeah.
word cult just
Exactly.
sounds just so dark. But then you got fans that are fickle, that they fuck with you for how they fuck with you, for who they fuck with you through. And then if you're not active like that, then it's more of a like, what happened? Yo, you remember that? What happened? And you might have just dropped yesterday. But it's that you're not as appealing to them right now because you're not in their faces.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all it is. You know what I mean? You got to stay consistent and this shit. And I tell every artist that asks me advice, like, yo, what I need to do to stay consistent, man. That's really what it is. Because as much as you drop quality shit now, I'm not saying, you just be dropping anything to be dropping it. Because you can drop a bunch of bullshit too. And people just be like, yeah, he always dropping. But,
Right.
but I'm just saying quality shit and really pay attention to what your base wants. Because I ain't going to hold you. For a long time, I neglected what my base actually wanted from me. Like
Did you know that? Like,
I didn't care.
you didn't care. You
I
were
didn't
like, I
give a
just want to
fuck.
try something different.
Nah, not even I didn't. I wanted to try something different. I wanted to do more because I knew I had more to offer,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to be known as the weed nigga. I felt that was mad demoralizing to the artist that I consider myself. So at one point in time, I was really upset with being a weed rapper, even though I am. That's the fuck who I am, you know. And I had these conversations with my friends. I remember having a conversation with Wiz, and he gave it to me so simple. And I was like, yo, like, do you ever like, you ever like, you ever feel like they put us in a box with this weed shit? And he's like, no, put us in a box. Like, if we're in a box, we gonna dance in it. This is what we do. When he told me that back then, like, re, I replayed it in my mind mad times. And this is over, maybe this is 10 years ago. Now is the most simplest shit. It makes the most sense. He was basically saying, hey man, we here, man. Like, this is what we do. Let's keep doing it. Clearly, he's fucking uber, super duper successful off being that,
Yeah.
you know? And
I always said like Wiz is like the Snoop Dogg of our
a
generation. Like,
1000%, man.
you know what he
Guy's a
represents.
fucking rock star,
Yeah.
superstar, man.
Yeah.
Um, and I neglected that part of my artistry, my life, because I shit started to just be real for me. I got tired of joking. Like, I joke around still.
I got jokes.
Got jokes, right? But at one point in time, I just got tired of joking. I got tired of the cartoon covers. I got tired of the fun videos. I just got on some dead ass shit at one point. Like, and thinking about it, I kind of started. I kind of see when it started to get that way, and that was when it was pivotal things happening in my life, where I was just angry. You know, I don't know if people realize it or really don't care. I hope they didn't, but to just speak to you openly and have an open dialogue of a conversation, because I always say to myself, I don't really do too many interviews
Mm-hmm.
that I want to do. So if I'm gonna do an interview, I'm gonna be the most vulnerable I could be, because I'm not gonna be doing them like that. So I'm just like, we all wear masks because we got like two versions of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got Smoke DZA and then I got Sean, right? So Smoke DZA doesn't necessarily carry all the things that Sean is going through when it's lights, camera, action.
Mm-hmm.
But that fucks us up at the end of the day, because I didn't know how to turn it off for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That shit stood on by hook or by crook. And then after I started to lose things, like, start to put shit in perspective instead of asking the why me, instead of like throwing the pity parties and like, I don't know. I'm just spewing my shit because you got me here, so I want to give you something for real.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, that's just, when you lose a lot of shit, you just get tired of fucking pretending.
Mm-hmm.
It was a time where I wasn't on Instagram for like 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
maybe longer than that. Like, I didn't even have the app, nothing on my phone. And it
Did
ruined
you
my business too.
did you let anybody run your socials while you did that?
Nah, I was on some stupid shit. Because I felt like people will see you on Instagram and instantly think you're okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
that's real.
I wasn't okay. And I'm not the one to go on social media and fucking have a diary about what the fuck is going on with me either.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care for that attention at all. But at the same time, when you're on social media, at least for me, it's like it's a business is open sign.
Yeah.
So my
People think
phone
that,
ring more.
yeah, more
It's
notifications.
more everything,
Yeah.
and I just didn't want to deal with people,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't want to deal with the question, "How are you doing?" Because that was just so like that was my trigger at one time. How are you doing? Because people don't really give a fuck how you doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll answer that question, and then I would really say how I'm doing, and then you would get oh man, that's crazy. It's a little insert bullshit advice, and then they ask you for something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? I ain't right. I'm not mentally all the way there to even deal with this shit. I don't have the energy. And had to leave music and everything that came with it alone for a minute to really focus after fucking losing my dad and then my grandmother, my grandfather, Hovain, all that shit was
Yes.
just
Rest in peace, Hovain.
all that shit was just too much for me, man. I, uh, I wasn't really feeling it like that. I'm just now really like getting my footing back, and you have losses, you have deaths that's not deaths like a relationship. A ending of a relationship is also like a death too,
Yes.
right?
That's real.
So it's like you deal with that, you deal with it's too much shit for me to really sit here and continue to have a mask on and act like I'm just popping and just outside because I'm not. Fucking outside, dog. I'm only outside when I'm booked,
Right.
or if I'm
Period.
like
Yeah.
be going on a date, which is just like I probably don't even do enough of. That's why I'm always getting cursed out. But I'm just like, I mean, all this shit is fickle, Sav. I'm just like, look, man. You want to make your money and go home to your kids at the end of the day. Have a legacy and love on you,
Right.
and make some cool shit for the people that embrace that cool shit and keep it pushing, man. All this other shit is smoke and mirrors, man. This shit is cap.
That's facts.
Yeah.
I love how you summed that up. And then one thing that's just like so relatable that you were saying is like you went ghost on social media. And that's something like I really aspire to do one day. Like I love how Hove doesn't have social media. Like I love like how Warren Buffett doesn't need to be on social media. Like you know what I mean? Like I in my dream world, I wouldn't have a cell phone. I would live in a house like Napoleon Dynamite
Mm.
and like have a house phone and like I just like that simple life and it's totally relatable with what you said. Like I get communication anxiety. So
Mm.
like just getting those notifications all day, people reaching out to you, it's the same thing on my end. It's like, you know, we have to be like wired as like higher level humans now and that the technology is kind of moving with us and that we have all this accessibility
That's a fact.
and it's like where do you have like that happy medium.
It's hard. It's crazy. You said you got communicative anxiety. I have like people anxiety,
Oh yeah, no,
and
me
and
as well.
and us as black people, especially from inner cities. No, I'm from Harlem.
Hmm.
I'm a nigga that grew up with mad niggas, then been stuck in elevators, play corners, play hot peas and butter. A nigga that played manhunt. You know what I mean? Played in every basketball tournament, PALs, talent shows, all the cool hood shit, right? And I was so embarrassed when I realized I had anxiety because they don't teach us that where we from.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, the ignorance in myself at one point in time, I would call somebody weak at one point in time when I heard them use the term anxiety.
Mm.
But I was selfish and I didn't understand what that was. And when you're anxious, because that's the key word of anxiety, being anxious for whatever reason that is, that you you become uncomfortable because it's that anxiousness. People don't know where that anxiousness come from. Like, it just doesn't come from being around people. Like, you pussy, you can't be around people. It comes from how you feel about yourself, right? And whatever it is that you dealing with, that you feel like nobody understands.
Mm-hmm.
It's always somebody that understands,
Right.
right? But you know, when you go through things you don't understand yourself, all you can do is just say, "Oh, well, nobody else understands," because you don't understand. So you don't really even know how to articulate that. And it fucked me up. It fucked me up. To a lot of my friends, loved ones, it fucked me up because I'm not the best communicator, and dealing with what I dealt with made it even harder for me to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just embarrassed. I felt embarrassed. I felt embarrassed because I felt weak and I wasn't taking care of myself mentally. I didn't allow myself to grieve. I kept going. I kept working. And I crashed. And when I crashed hard, and I'm still recovering. And I wasn't the easiest person to be around. I'm probably still not the easiest person to be around some days. But
No, that's dope. Everything you were talking about is valid. Putting that time aside for your mental health and you know, you know, you know, um, uh, tuning in with what's going on with the inside. Because like anxiety was something like I developed when I was in college.
hmm.
Because I went to Rutgers. Rutgers was such a big campus. We'd have to take buses to classes. So like you can't just walk to class. You have to take a bus to class. And it just used to give me so much anxiety. By the time like senior year came, I would just like take Ubers to class or like
Hmm.
drive my car and get tickets. Because I wasn't parking where I should have been parking. But that's definitely something that I've gotten together for myself, like over these past few years, like just going to my doctor, getting medicated, like,
You got medicated?
I sure did.
You
Yeah.
know, I got a friend that was telling me about that, but I'm a bit apprehensive with that. I smoke enough weed, and
Yeah.
I started to do shrooms.
I
That
was going to
was
say there's also,
that really helped
natural
me
alternate. I think shrooms are great. Yeah.
simplify it a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it really came ahead for me when I started to have panic attacks from being so overwhelmed by
Me as well.
shit that I couldn't control, and it started to control me, and that's where the embarrassment from feeling weak, and that was from not dealing with the problems, not mourning properly or mourning at all. So yeah,
Yeah.
yes, anxiety is an interesting thing.
Yeah, and I think it's not talked about enough, but our generation is going through like an anxiety crisis because we have the phones, because we have the social media. So, it's real. And I think that, it's possible that you can have a chemical imbalance and you got to figure out whatever works for you. For me, it just makes me such a more productive person because I feel like I would get like anxious when it comes to like all my tasks ahead of me to the point where it's like debilitating to choose one. You know what I'm saying? Or like, so it's been helpful. Like, I feel like I always say to my friends, I'm just trying to like become the most highly functioning adult version of myself and find the mediums, go to therapy. I went vegetarian 2 years ago. So,
Stopped drinking 2 years ago. You're
yeah.
just like a, but that's why your skin is just so popping. Your teeth, everything is just like radiant.
Oh,
Like you
thank
can
you.
tell, like your aura is very, it's very popping. You're
Thank you,
good. I
DZA.
can tell you, you on the right, you on the right path for whatever you're doing. It's a good thing.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's a
that.
good thing.
I appreciate that. I think a lot of people don't take into consideration like how much your inputs do affect your outputs.
Hmm.
You know, what you're eating, how you're treating yourself and your body physically, mentally. So I think the older I get, I care more about those things. I don't care to like be outside as much and stuff like that. For me, I think doing PR, we celebrated 10 years last year.
Mm-hmm.
Doing PR for 10 years, a lot of my job is like being on the ground, being in people's faces, networking, making the wheels turn for my clients. But now that I get older, I'm like, I want to decorate my home. Like, I want to go to Home Goods.
Doing cool,
Like,
get cool candles.
you
You
know
know
what
what I
I
mean?
mean?
That's the essential shit. Like, shit. I bought a $500 Diptyque candle. I like that type of shit.
you
That's
know?
I'm into that. So I feel you.
Yeah.
That's like where I'm at too.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of like I think I've done the jewelry thing. I've done the high fashion thing. I've done the sneaker thing. I've done. I had a line. I said I got every hype sneaker, but that's a poor man flaws. Because it's like, how many hype sneakers can you have? You only got 2 feet. How many chains can I have? I only got one neck.
Right.
How many bracelets can I have? I only got 2 wrists.
Yeah.
So it's like it comes to a point. Maybe that's because I'm not shitting on it, because you got to, you don't have to do it. But if from where I come from, I lived out what I wanted to live the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I lived it out. The ignorance, the stupid shit. I lived it out. And I suggest everybody live out whatever your dream is to the highest level of it. If you couldn't do it when you was the little you and now you're the older you and you can do that, fucking do it. But what I realized is after you do all of that, right, you really start to zone in on what matters the most. My daughter's in private school. It's a bill every month. I like being able to pay that bill every month.
Yeah.
My sons like nice things. They're boys. They're getting older. I got a 19-year-old, and my twin is about to turn 15, and he loves everything. And that shit comes to spending money. So I'm interested in that.
Right.
I got a lady I'm fond of, and I like to
Okay.
do nice things for her when I can. When I can means anytime I get pressed to do it. So it's like, you want to be able, that's the shit I care about.
Right.
Paying my mom's bills and shit like that. I care about that. All the other shit is just, it's riffraff. It's bullshit. Don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. You just want to you want to do what works for you, man. Right. Love on who love on you, and go about it like that.
I'm right there with you.
That's where I'm at.
Those are goals. Taking care of home.
Yeah.
And whatever home.
And I'm not the best taking care of Homer.
Yeah.
I'm not the best. I'm not about to sit here and be lying so they can be like, oh, that's cap. I'm not the best. I'm always in some shit. I'm always, I'm still figuring it out. I'm not perfect.
Right.
But as long as you try, you can win the game. So
right.
I'm just staying whole and being the best person I could be, the best creator I could be, the best, The best version of me.
I 100% feel you.
Mhm.
100% feel you.
Mhm.
You've seen many versions of me,
Yes.
over the years.
Yes. Yes. I have. I have. But I like this version. This version is like the rounded off version from all your versions. This is like the Sav like 5.0.
Oh, I love
Like
it.
yeah, I fuck with the 5.0. I fuck with that. Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
Sav 5.0.
If it would be a mixtape, it'd be like my fifth mixtape.
Yeah, it's your fifth joint.
I'm
It's your
giving
fifth
a
joint.
different heat every time,
Mhm. Mhm.
of lives. But yeah, even though I'm young, I do feel like I've had many experiences.
And you got many more to come.
Yeah,
We got many more to we have many more to come.
we do.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying the journey. I'm grateful because a lot of, I've seen a lot of people leave the industry and, not do it anymore because it's a lot. Like, we're not in a regular industry,
No, we're not at all.
you know?
Not at all.
So it takes a lot of mental capacity to be able to keep the wheels turning and just go.
Mhm.
But these days, I definitely find myself like, getting into other projects, like I was telling you about, like, Toro and real estate now. And so,
Smart shit.
yeah,
Shit that's gonna keep the money turning.
yeah, period.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know. Same here. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like it's a lot of outside of rap investments that I'm interested in being involved with and doing more research of learning these things to draw passive income
Yeah.
because it's all about making money when you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. So if you have the great Dame Dash once told me, if you have 10 functional businesses, you can be a millionaire.
That's real.
You know, so if you're making 100,000 off every business and you have 10 businesses, that's just setting the bar low,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you don't necessarily have to have 10 businesses to be a millionaire either. But I'm just giving it to you in layman's terms. As far as investments go, the more investments you have, successful investments, is the more capital that you can make in that, and that's where I think that's where we all should be focused, or at least have a fraction of focus towards, as at least artists in my in my realm of things. It's always good to have passive income outside of this when it slows down because rap is a game of hurry up and wait.
Right.
Hip hop, not just rap, hip hop, and the business. It don't always come on time.
Right.
It'll come, but it don't always come on time. And have your business right. Get you a good lawyer. Get you a good team. Have some women around you.
Yes.
Cause I've noticed you women are fucking the best with business, with life. You got a good team of women or a good woman or two next to you. You doing something.
Yeah.
Doing something. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. All in a nutshell.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
As I continue to grow my business, for me, it's just been about like, training that next generation of PR professionals so that they can, be out there and on the ground and doing those things. I love my clients. I love working with my clients, but, the bandwidth now and to, you know what I mean? It's, you got to have more soldiers on the ground,
For sure.
championing the brand and championing our clients and what we do. So I think for me, that's the aim, that's freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So that I could focus on like a lot of the other endeavors, like, that I have going on.
That
So,
makes sense. Well, you're amazing PR, and I'm pretty sure you'll be an amazing teacher.
yeah,
So
I have interns every semester.
I know.
So,
I already know.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it will be another fucking Savannah Britt type coming out of that internship program. A couple of them that will be beating up the ground, fucking finding whatever's new and hot for guys like me coming up. So I'm happy. I'm happy for you. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Word.
So, do you have any parting words for my audience before you go for your
Um,
sign off?
what's the name of this podcast?
Tricks of the trade.
Tricks of the trade. Oh man, this is great. Well, I'm happy. First and foremost, like, subscribe to this podcast. Give my girl a listen. Um, Secondly, if you are in this business, don't lose yourself in this business for this business. If you're not in this business, don't lose yourself watching this business. Um, Love on who love on you. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Embrace your craft. Um, Stay true. Roll that shit like that shit. Smoke that shit. That's that.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming, DZA. I
No doubt.
appreciate
No
you.
doubt. No doubt.
Signing off.
Really.